Spectacular setting of Loch Tay in October, and in the autumn sunshine, the setting for round 9, the Hackl Rally. On the notorious Drummond Hill stage, Andrew Wood, lying third in the championship, was determined to consolidate his position. But Murray Grierson was equally sure he was going to do everything he could to hold on to the top spot. And then there was Jimmy Garvin, second in the points table and just 10 points behind the leader. Third place gave him more valuable points. The championship battle was wide open for this round, organised jointly by the 55 Car Club and Alloa and District Motor Club. Stuart Robertson wasn't registered for the championship, but he still managed second place. Walter Henderson wasn't sparing anything, especially his car. But his luck was out again, this time with a sheared stub axle on just the third stage. Ewan Brewis took things steady throughout the day and was rewarded with 6th overall. George Gauld took a different approach, in fact several different approaches, and finished 2 places further down the field in an identical car. Here's Donald Milne in the Craigvinian stage in Perthshire with the Peugeot in full cry on his way to 9th place. Phil Walker was still well within the top 10 championship places. A good result would move him up even further. Mike Riddick was out in his 4-wheel drive Toyota Celica, but he couldn't quite match Garvin's times. He finished 16th. Murray Grierson went into the final stage in 4th place, but a blistering drive by Phil Walker pushed him down to 5th. In spite of this minor diversion, Walker set fastest time on this stage at Craigvinian and finished 4th, the best placing for a rear-wheel drive car. No championship points at stake, but a good 2nd place for Stuart Robertson behind Andrew Wood. 18-year-old Alistair Mcrae had one of his best results of the year to push the Nova into 11th position, to be the highest placed newcomer. High revs were the order of the day for Andy Kelly from Newton Mearns in his Toyota Corolla. 24th overall and first in his class, in spite of the odd error. Handling a rally car isn't easy at the best of times. With a rear wheel puncture, it's decidedly difficult. Just ask Ian Gray from Forfar. The Trossachs in the autumn can be beautiful, provided you've got a heavy-duty raincoat and a strong umbrella. The weather didn't concern the furthest travelled competitor, Icelander Steingrimur Ingesson. He was more worried about the trees.
Well, I did the Hackl rally, and I thought the Scottish forest might be similar roads to the roads in Iceland, although we don't have any trees there. And I just enjoyed it here.
You enjoyed the Hackl. The conditions were different though from today.
I believe very much so. I have never been rallying in British forest in a weather like that, so, well, I'm looking forward to it, but still quite scared of it.
And he was right. He crashed and rolled his Datsun on the very first stage. Andrew Wood set about getting the best result possible. A good placing in the Trossachs could give him enough points to take the championship, which he had just failed to do 5 years ago. But the weather, now mist rather than rain, was an unexpected hazard.
Straight. Fairly straight. Go on. It's all straight.
Jimmy Garvin's luck was out. This front wheel puncture on the very first stage left him limping to the finish and losing valuable seconds. It dropped him down to 10th place, and even four-wheel drive couldn't beat the mist. The BT garage owner, Stuart Robertson, was giving the Metro 6R4 its last appearance in Scotland. His is the last and has been sold, but similar cars have won the previous 4 Trossachs events. Murray Grierson's rear-wheel drive Metro is powered by a Ford engine. He wanted to give the car a good trial before the 1990 season, but first he'll have to repair the front end, damaged in a heavy landing. Walter Henderson found that things weren't quite going all his way. But he recovered from this minor diversion on the first stage. Gordon Smith, on the other hand, gave an object lesson in a handbrake turn. By now it became clear Stuart Robertson was heading for a 5th successive win for a Metro 6R4 in the Trossachs, in spite, or perhaps because of, the dreadful conditions.
Very slippy, very difficult. Fog's an added hazard, but it's lifting a little since the last stage.
So you're enjoying it generally, though?
Yes, it suits the Metro.
Jimmy Garvin's early puncture had been a major setback, but he'd regained some lost ground, and he knew exactly what he still had to do.
We're lying about 7th going into there, but hopefully we'll be moved up a place now. You know, I think we had a good time through there, but we've got to go like hell.
Yeah. But no problems with the car?
Apart from the puncture on the first stage, you know, nothing at all. The car's going great.
And what about the conditions? Pretty slippery?
Pretty slippery, but the car's gripping fine, no problem. It's running well, so cross the finger, just have to keep going flat out till the finish. That's all we can do.
But crossed fingers just weren't enough, and on the 8th and last stage, another front wheel puncture put paid to his championship hopes, leaving him to stagger to the finish in 8th place, 2 points short of capturing the championship. So a fine first place in the rally for Stuart Robertson by a margin of 18 seconds, even though he had a 2 seconds a mile penalty against the Group B car. Murray Grierson suffered 2 time-consuming spins which ruined his championship hopes, but he recovered to finish 3rd in the event. Last year's champion challenger Walter Henderson took 4th place, with Phil Walker just 9 seconds behind. Ian Baumgart had just 1 puncture to take 6th place, while Ewan Brewis took his Mazda to 7th, with Bob Locke's Audi and Alistair Mcrae's Sierra completing the top 10. At the finish back in Aberfoyle, Andrew Wood was unaware of Garvin's bad luck, which had given him the championship. But once he knew, he was obviously pleased.
I'm delighted. It's not sunk in yet. It's going to take a wee while for it to sink in and just realise what has actually happened.
Without wishing to lessen your efforts, it really came down to Jimmy Garvin's punctures, didn't it?
It did, yes, but I think, you know, you've got to be neat and tidy driving, and we were neat and tidy, we had no punctures, we had a good day, so, you know, you pay for some things as you get them.